Let's go. The Max Johnson show has begun. So we're going to move quickly. This isn't going to be as long of a film study as our other ones. Let's go back and run this first down play at full speed. And we immediately see basically first drive of the game here for LSU, not backed up deep in their own territory. We immediately see the running power of Max Johnson. Fake this handoff. Good job by Kole Taylor to wash this end on down. And there's no contain. I want you to see something real quick. See that little fake by Max Johnson? That just freezes these defensive backs that much more, just in case they think he's going to throw it. Obviously, he's not thinking he's going to throw it. It's just a little fake to hold them just a little bit longer. Because he did that fake, 16 is slow to get here, close to a first down. Okay? It's 2nd and 1. Guess what LSU does the very next play? Because of Max Johnson's ability to run, and this is what I was talking about in the live stream after the game, because of his threat to pull this ball and run to the outside, it's going, and they really worked Cox, who is his last name. That sounds very weird, but still, they really toyed with Cox. That sounds so weird, but on this play, because look, notice he stops because he has to read to see if Max Johnson keeps it because his job is contained. And once the running back gets the ball, Cox has got to tighten here and make this tackle. Max isn't even that great of a runner, but because he's not TJ and Miles, who are statues, and defensive ends don't respect TJ or Miles and their ability to run, because of that, because Max Johnson is a little, not quite the level of a runner as Joe Burrow, but because he's a threat as a runner, it just holds that defensive end. And notice he couldn't tighten this. TDP did a good job getting skinny, breaking that tackle, and just rushing on through. That's the Max Johnson effect, and you'll see it again here. Quarterback draw. Ed Ingram loses his block, but he was able to get just enough of him, and Max Johnson's able to get to the outside. Good block here by Dare Rosenthal. Because he knows it's a draw, you just got to wash this guy on up. Max Johnson feels him go on up. All you got to do is just get it wide. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's keep this moving. Good throw on a slant. Really well done. And this is something that he struggled with early. What a lot of people do is they throw it to the nearest side slant route, because normally this would be, obviously, Eric Gilbert. So he sees that this linebacker's tight. He goes to this slant right here. Beautiful. Keep it moving. Okay? 2nd and 1. Same thing. These defensive ends have to play just a little bit wider. Good pass fake right here by Max. And notice that pulls this safety on up. That prevents this safety from coming downhill and filling. Really good quick fake right here. Look at that. If he's able to break this tackle right here or just bounce it just a little bit, he's walking into the end zone. But because the safety's late to come help, this young man's from New Orleans. He had the pick six from Joe Burrow in 2018. And this people right here is perfect quarterback play. Once again, we're moving quickly on this film study. Notice what happens here. The play is designed for him to roll out. And notice where Jaray Jenkins is right now compared to where he's going to end up for the touchdown. There's nothing here. Okay? Part of this play design is to roll out. And if you don't have anything, run. But notice Cox, number 1. Kole Taylor does a great job right here. Cox does a great job keeping contained. So what does Max Johnson do? He stops and lets this route develop. And notice, look at where he's throwing the football, knowing that he's going to get a hit. This was well played by Florida's Cox right here. Just floats this ball while he's getting hit. You cannot play the quarterback position any better than that. Beautiful. Going ahead, baby. Going ahead and gritty. We move along. Eli Ricks pick 6. He did a good job just breaking off of his route. I don't know if that was by design for him to sit right here. He reads this, and so many people were angry that he pimped this. I don't care that he did that. Because you know the one thing this defense has lacked? Bite, attitude, a leader, swag. We haven't gotten that from the secondary, and Eli Ricks provides that. So let's replay this crazy ricochet interception. And like I mentioned, LSU got a lot of good luck in this game. Whether it's a toss of a shoe or whatnot, we were outgained by nearly 200 yards. Who cares? We're on the road. We're undermanned. This is a game that Florida's going to think about the rest of their lives. Good job by Jay Ward, SportsCenter top 10 play. And you know it's a top 10. You know it's LSU Florida when that crazy play is kind of an afterthought of this game. Move along here. Kayshon getting better on his slant routes. Good throw, good catch, first down. Let's keep it moving. 3rd and 7. Let's go back to Kayshon. He's got the hot hand. Feed Kayshon, baby. 5-star Louisiana kids. You got to get him. And Steve Ensminger, I don't know if he's just really good at knowing when a corner blitz is going to come, but the perfect play against a corner blitz is just a simple go route. And this was the exact same thing against Alabama. Kayshon Boutte, the same exact receiver. When the corner blitz comes, LSU, and that's just really good by Max. He's done a good job early in his quarterback career where he sees the blitz coming, throw in the direction of the blitz, safety's too late, easy touchdown. Legit the same exact play against Alabama, but this time Kayshon holds the ball through the goal line, thankfully. So let's actually break this final fumble down because this ended up being a huge play in the game. How did LSU generate this pressure? Well, they were able to do something called a game. And what a game is basically something like a twist or a loop. And I pointed this out in the preview. LSU's pass rush was going to be better versus Florida. A, Florida's offensive line isn't as good as Alabama's. And B, like Alabama, they have a quarterback who's immobile. In fact, it's kind of weird as we see more quarterbacks become more mobile. Most of the SEC quarterbacks are statues. Miles Brennan, Kyle Trask, Mac Jones, Connor Bazelak, JT Daniels, and the list goes on. So because a quarterback is immobile, you're able to be more creative, and you don't have to keep contained responsibilities as much as you normally do because they know they're not going to beat you with their legs. So what this is Thornton, who's lined up in what's called a race car package where you have all defensive ends as your 4 defensive linemen. So what Thornton's going to do is twist through this gap, and Ali Gay is going to twist back through this gap. That's why it's called a twist. And we'll show you something later where LSU calls an actual loop. So anyway, here we go. Notice Ray Thornton does a good job bringing this guard with him and then splitting this double team while the offensive tackle tries to chase Ali Gay down. Okay? But notice what happens. It's actually Thornton who fights through the double team and makes the play. And this is also aided by Ali Gay timing. Look, notice he timed it. He waited for this play to develop. Thornton did a good job taking the guard out. And notice, Thornton does a great job holding the edge. So Trask sees Ali Gay. Thornton continues his rush, does a great job, and swipes at the football for a fumble. But notice who actually ends up picking it up. B.J. Ojulari, who never gave up on the play. And we get a field goal out of it right before the half. Huge. Absolutely huge. So we continue here. TDP had such a great game. I don't know if he got injured. I don't know what happened to John Emery. But Chris Curry became a big part of the offense. Is that a good or a bad thing? We'll see. We'll show you on the film. Same thing here. They bring this corner blitz, but notice, and this is going to be a common theme the rest of this study, because of Max Johnson's ability to run, it holds this defensive end. LSU's offensive line does a great job washing all these defensive linemen down. We saw this last week early in the Alabama film study. If you want to see it, it's legit the exact same thing. Wash these guys down. TDP notices that. He doesn't just run into it. He waits for this to develop, but because Cox has to, I guess you could say, respect Johnson's ability to run, this gap opens itself up. Boom. Good run by TDP. And you see Cox Jr. is just getting toyed with that. This was actually really bad protection and a really good throw. Good route by Jaray to create the separation on Marco Wilson. Bad protection. And he still throws while getting smothered. That's big time. We move along. All right, so 3rd and 1, we get the quarterback sneak right here. Good job by Chris Curry. Here we go. We're up 24-17. Field goal makes it a 2-possession game. So no turnovers, but of course you prefer the touchdown to make it a 14-point game instead of obviously a 10-point game. And what we're going to see here is the good and the bad of Chris Curry. The really good thing is Chris Curry works hard. He's reliable. He doesn't drop the football. He's number 18, okay? Once again, I don't know the health of Ty Davis-Price or John Emery, but the good of Chris Curry is he's going to hit the hole as hard as possible the way that the play is designed. The bad news is, A, he doesn't break off a lot of runs and break off a lot of tackles, and he's not really good at reading cutback angles, and you'll see it right here. Once again, the good and the bad of Chris Curry. Now notice here, first thing I want you to notice is Chasen Hines, who gets hurt on the next play, holds when he doesn't have to. This should have been called. I don't know why he's bear hugging this guy. I all due respect to Chasen Hines, they replaced him with Cam Wire after the injury, and they got better. I just don't understand the hold right here. But still, the play is perfectly blocked everywhere else. We get a good block right here from Kole Taylor. Look at all this push. Ed Ingram is blowing this guy all the way to Tampa Bay. Look at this. And then we have a wide open hole. Look at this. Liam Shanahan, who's playing really well right now. You cannot block this any better. The only problem is this. Once again, the good and the bad of Chris Curry. He puts his head down and just rams his way right through it. But notice what's there. Najee Harris is really good at this. Obviously, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is really good at this. Most running backs would be able to slow down and cut right here. Because once you see this guy cutting in and you see the safety, you should know that this should be there. Okay? And Leonard Fournette struggles with this too. This is why he's not necessarily been a great NFL running back. Because Fournette just rams right into it instead of just stopping and bouncing. See, he should have stopped and bounced through here. Still, that's a tough thing to see. You're new to the game. You haven't gotten a whole lot of snaps here. I still get a good finish out of him. Notice where he stopped and he falls forward. I'll take it. And notice what I'm talking about here. Chasen Hines still bear hugging the guy and tackles him. So yeah, that created this 3rd and long. We had to settle for this because on the very next play, guess what? Chasen Hines held a defensive tackle and we would have scored on an easy touchdown. Chris Curry was stopped short. If they would have reviewed it, they would have given him a touchdown. So instead, we have to settle for a field goal. And before that, we burned a needless timeout with 20 seconds left on the play clock. Not here nor there. It ended up hurting LSU later, but we actually got lucky. We'll show you that in just a moment. Now it's 27-24. It's 3rd and 4. Florida's got a lot of momentum now. And because of that holding penalty, you're only up a field goal instead of being up a touchdown. Max Johnson, I don't know how I feel about plays like this. Because this is how LSU has done it all year. And Josh Williams, who's played a lot, he is the 5th string running back. All due respects to him, I don't know how you don't see this blitzer coming And LSU's running backs never personal protect. They just don't. They all go out on routes. Once again, I said this last week on the Bama film study and even the Texas A&M film study. I got a buddy that's a college running backs coach. And, LSU's obviously different. You go from program to program. I personally like when a team is showing blitz to keep a personal protector, or before the personal protector goes out on a route, pick up the blitzer. So, Josh Williams goes out on a route. If we pick this blitzer up, maybe we hit Koy Moore for a first down. If you can prevent blitzers from running free and hitting your quarterback, you obviously need to pick that up. So we get sacked. Florida scores another touchdown. We get a good run here from Chris Curry. Makes this guy miss, and notice this. We finally get a cut. Instead of Chris Curry just running into this guy, he cuts inside of shoe thrower, follows through and finishes forward. That's really good stuff there. This throw is just incredible. Once again, I don't know if Steve Ensminger's just really good at guessing when the corner blitz is going to come, but as many of you have seen, the best route to run against a corner blitz is obviously a go route, and this is actually a stop and go. Watch Kayshon BOMB as a true freshman. He's just getting better and better. Set the safety up for a double move. Max Johnson knows it's going to be there, okay? Because Kayshon BOMB is his fastest receiver, he knows the safety can't keep up with them, and look at this pass protection. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Dare Rosenthal sees the corner blitz and picks it up. He actually picks up two guys essentially here, blocking this defensive end and getting over there. This is hustle. This is desire. This is what I'm talking about. Team effort. Easily Dare Rosenthal's best game of the year. But it's all helped out with Max Johnson's ability to run. And this is obviously the touchdown. Very simple breakdown here. You see man coverage. This guy is just never going to catch the running back, especially in man coverage. Just a really well-designed play. Kavontre, who dropped a lot of passes this game, catches the one that matters here, and we get 6. Let's move along. So this is just a ridiculous throw. Freaking-ridiculous throw, okay? And honestly, you got to have some cojones to make this throw. In the fourth quarter, up by 3. Now, you'll see a little bit later in the film study that Max Johnson actually gets a little tentative a little bit later. But look at Chris Curry, okay? I'm a little critical of him sometimes, but God, he was so huge. Deserves a game ball for coming into this game ice cold, not getting a lot of snaps, not really being available for some games, just to step up and make this block right here. So freaking huge. And Max Johnson's getting hit. Kole Taylor whiffs his block. He's going up against their best defensive end. Look at where Max Johnson is throwing this football. There's no separation. So this is him trusting Jaray Jenkins to make a play on the ball. A lot of cojones on this freshman. I like it. Okay? And the shoe thrower is going to call a push-off. Was there a push-off? Probably. But a little bit earlier, on Florida's second touchdown, Dwight McGlothern got pushed off, and they didn't call it there. Let it go. Here's a drop. It wouldn't have gone for a first down, but the reason why this drop is critical, okay, because, once again, Kole Taylor, it was an up-and-down game blocking. He's got to make this block right here, okay? So even though he whiffs this block, Kavontre still has enough speed to get to the outside and potentially make this first down. But the drop is huge because it takes out the ability to go for it on 4th and 7 in plus territory. This is actually a really good play call by Steve Ensminger because you call this knowing that you're probably going to go for it on 4th down. So you get a very sure thing right here, but he drops it. A critical drop because you might get the first down. Cole missed this block. But if you complete this pass, if he runs as hard as he can this way, it's 4th and 5 or 4th and 4, and we can actually go for it. Instead, we do the smart thing, which is punt in this situation with a really good punter, which we do. But Florida gets back to the line of scrimmage basically on just a few plays. Once again, we come back to it. Got to make this catch. Got to make this block. But once again, this is a true freshman quarterback throwing to a true freshman running back, throwing to a true freshman tight end who was backing up a true freshman tight end who opted out. This is your 4th-string back and your 3rd-string quarterback. Mistakes are going to happen. So remember earlier I showed you the game, all right? This is a really good defensive call by defensive line coach Bill Johnson and Bo Pelini. So remember earlier we were talking about games where this defensive end comes around here, or this defensive tackle comes around here, and this defensive end comes around here? Well, Florida is potentially expecting that. Instead, what they do, though, is they run what's called a loop, where this defensive tackle comes through here, and this defensive tackle comes through here. Once again, because Kyle Trask can't run, and he doesn't want to run, you're able to get more creative with these guys right here. So, notice what happens here. Our boy B.J. Ojulari gets a great, tight rush. And if you want to see our film study on B.J. Ojulari, how good he is at just bending and dipping and getting around this corner, look at how tight this is. Okay? And because LSU's pass rush on both ends were so tight, LSU really didn't even need this game to work. Look at this. Well done. Really well done. And he misses a sack, but Thornton doesn't give up. A lot of quarterbacks would have been able to roll out this way and make a play. This is part of Kyle Trask's game. I think Kyle Trask is a decent quarterback who's helped by really great weapons and a really great play caller. Joe Burrow would have rolled out here and made a play. Kyle Trask plays it safe and takes the sack. Field goal's good to tie it up. So now we get to Shoegate. Oh, Shoegate. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Shoegate on full speed, all right? Max Johnson hits his check down. And the shoe is tossed. Marco, what are you doing? They knew it. They freaking knew it. So what actually happened on Shoegate? Let's go back to our Texas A&M film study. Let's go. Here we are, Max Johnson playing mop-up duty against Texas A&M. So here he takes a sack on 2nd and 10. His pass protection was horrible. So now it's 3rd and long. And I can't say it enough how important it is to have a dad who played in the NFL and can watch film and give you notes. And to have, Steve Ensminger and Russ Calloway and everyone help you out. This shows maturation. Because take a look. It's 3rd and 16. And watch what happens here. Like Florida, Texas A&M is going to drop back into coverage, into deep coverage. Okay? Now, this should have been an interception. You're backed up in your own territory, very similar spot on the field. But watch the replay. This is why film study is important. This is why working hard is very important. Because the right move right here is to, guess what? Hit your check down. It's 3rd and 16. Everybody is dropped way back. And notice, if he would have hit his check down, Kole Taylor would have at least run to where it's close to go for it on 4th down. Instead, he throws the ball. It should have been picked by 2 different guys. So you notice there, hit your check down when things aren't there, right? Well, Florida actually got a little lucky while getting unlucky. Let's go back to the Florida game. So if quarterbacks study film as hard as we think they study film, They know when they see everybody that is dropped back into zone coverage like this, hit your check down. Because it's 3rd and 10. Your offensive line, which has actually been good for the most part, still, it's a very unlikely throw. And you obviously don't want to throw an interception. But Max Johnson had been aggressive. We've seen him throw aggressive passes throughout the course of the game. I like aggressiveness, okay? It is 3rd and 10. Florida's offense has been cooking you, okay? Simply put, they've been cooking you all game. Over 500 yards of offense up to this point. So you know, in a tie football game, you need to be aggressive. You simply do, okay? So what happens? Let's go back to first down. Here we are, it's first down, scores 34-34. Now, I'm not going to break down this drive because of time, but the drive before Florida went down the field to tie the game, I hated LSU's play selection. And Steve Ensminger had been aggressive all game, throwing on first down. Well, he decided to go run, pass, and it was an easy 3 and out. So, it is 34-34. Steve Ensminger's not going to make the same mistake again, okay? Florida's probably expecting run. It's foggy out. LSU's offense, a little discombobulated, true freshman quarterback. But guess what happens? LSU does the right thing. You should be throwing on first and 10, 75% of the time. It's just a more efficient play. So notice what LSU does here on first down. Play action, and they get exactly what they wanted. Koy Moore, who's a good route runner for his age, makes a really good route. And I know it's foggy, but this is a really catchable ball. He dropped it. I know it's tough to see. This should have been a first down. A critical first down. He dropped it. Mistimed his jump. Okay? We move along here to second down. Once again, LSU gets a little tentative. Notice Max Johnson, who's been aggressive all game. Chris Curry does not the best job of selling this fake. Notice he's not even doing his arms down thing. So when you do that, that allows this guy to cut this angle. You got to sell this fake on out, and it wasn't the great job. It wasn't the best for Max Johnson to sell this handoff anyway. And look, he's already looking this way. Linebackers are able to see it quick. And because of that, this guy's able to get a piece of him to slow him down. And it's stuffed. So once again, LSU's getting tentative because it's pressure and you're tired. And it's foggy. So now we get to Shoegate. Well, what happens here? Well, a lot happens. Okay? You saw the Texas A&M film, right? Watch what happens here with Kayshon BOMB. Steve Ensminger calls the perfect play. So if you're Florida, guess what? It looks like LSU's going to be in max protection, which essentially they are. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys blocking 4 pass rushers. So if we're going to get the first down here, we got to trust 1, 2, 3 guys to get the first down against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. So pre-snap, Max Johnson has to know that this play is very highly unlikely, except LSU actually runs the perfect play against this coverage. The best route to run when they're playing soft zone is a comeback route. And the reason why is it's because the wide receiver, as he's coming back to the quarterback, is able to sit in the soft spot of the zone, which is essentially what happens. Once again, I always say this. When you're watching the game, watch the ball. But when you rewatch the game, watch everyone else. Okay? Kole Taylor does a good job here getting an initial punch to slow down this defensive end's rush. Okay? So Max Johnson doesn't want to take a sack. But to me, I would have told Max Johnson to be aggressive here. It's 34-34. If you punt, Florida's likely to get the ball back, and they're probably going to drive down to win the game. So, guess what? Max Johnson watches a lot of film. The Texas A&M game tells him that if everybody is sitting back in such soft zone, hit your check down. But in this case, protection is great. And you know that Florida is more than likely going to sit back in this too deep zone. But guess what LSU does? The perfect route. Start your progression this way. And it's a tough throw. The whole game is on the line right here. 34-34. You don't want to take a sack. You're being tentative. Max Johnson should have sat in the pocket and delivered this football to Kayshon. The check down is fine. Check downs are okay. But in this situation, he should have thrown the football here. You had the time to go through your progressions. You should have known that this backside route was going to be open as your head moved across your progression. Hitting the check down's not the worst thing, because you want to know why? It gives you a chance. Maybe Kole Taylor makes this guy miss. Maybe he falls forward to make it a manageable fourth down. Or maybe the guy picks it up and tosses his shoe as the play was designed. And notice, the LSU staff did a great job making sure this penalty was called. I cannot believe it. I still cannot freaking believe it. So LSU, even after this, they got a little too conservative, because you don't want to settle for a 57-yard field goal in the fog to win the game. It's not analytically smart to do that. It's a low percentage field goal, but that is exactly what LSU does. Once again, this was the ultimate deciding factor in the game. A quarterback's ability to run can do wonders for you. This run right here is beautiful. Why? Well, this time, LSU is running this to the weak side. Max Johnson's reading this defensive end, and because Max Johnson can run, this defensive end Cox can't get tight and make this tackle. Notice he has to sit. He has to wait and see. And Chris Curry does a great job. Cut this way, though. Don't just run directly into the pile. Once you see this, Clyde was really good at this. And it's kind of tough to see from this angle. But once you see this, boom, bounce this way. Don't go directly into a guy's back. That's not what you want to do. Once again, the added benefit of him just hitting the hole is he's at least going downhill. But boom, right foot plant, cut. And it was there. But he runs straight into the safety. It's every single time. It doesn't fail. Even though there's a cutback lane. I'll still take him falling forward for some extra yards, though. 3rd and 8. This is wild. I am still shocked that Dan Mullen called a timeout. Now, this was interesting to me. Because it was 4th down, I don't know why LSU was able to get this ball. Notice where it should have been placed on the left hash, if I'm not mistaken, but LSU gets it into the center of the field because Dan Mullen called a timeout. This allowed LSU to be calm, set, and ready to go to kick a good, strong 57-yarder, and it's good. It would have been good from 60. And notice how cool this is. Kicking the football on the Gators logo to win the game. How about it? So, as you'll see here, I thought LSU also got a little too conservative defensively on this final drive. But still, we won the game undermanned with barely enough scholarship players to even play, without our 2 top receivers, without Derek Stingley Jr. It just goes to show you. Sometimes you get lucky. LSU got a lot of luck in this game. What the heck is Florida doing sitting Kyle Pitts when he said he was ready to go? In a game you had to have. Their kicker shanking this one. LSU was clutcher. LSU was outgained. LSU got the lucky ricochets and bounces. But championship teams overcome it anyway. And Florida's not a championship team. They're not a championship program. They're not championship material, and you saw it. So I hope you enjoyed this film study. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's get to it. How about that win, Coach O? I love it, baby. Let's go. It's Power Hour LSU. Boom. Bam, bam, bam. Woo. Woo. Oh, yeah. Stretch, stretch, stretch.